What's up, guys? It's Wednesday, 7 o'clock. You know what time it is? It's race show time. Super excited about today's guest. He needs no introduction. Big time drag racer, especially in small tire and grudge racing in general. And of course, all the LS stuff and things like that. But before we get started, I just wanted to say this episode is brought to you by Bridge Wars, Bridge Wars 2024. Make sure you guys are at Bridge Wars this year. That's happening next weekend. It's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is just the Saturday flyer for the small tire stuff, but it's going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So make sure you guys are there, support, bring your cars, and all that fun stuff. So before I bring on my guests, I'm going to show a little clip of one of his newer builds, Slick Rick. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Share my screen. That was a rocket ship. That was cool. Hold on 1 second. So let's bring him on. Mr. John Dock, how are you, sir?
What's up? I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're a busy man. Got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of cars, racing, the shop, storm work,
Yeah,
all that
a little
fun
bit of
stuff.
everything. Yeah, we're
Yeah, man.
staying wide open all the time.
That's
Thank you for
awesome.
having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I was like, I always wanted to get you on the show. And I forget what it was. I was like, oh, let me hit up John and see if he's available. I don't know, you know what I mean? But how's the new shop treating you? It looks nice in there. You got that all
Yeah,
set up.
it's awesome. We just converted the front area, like the showroom, into a speed shop. It was originally like an old Chevy dealership, so it's got a nice like storefront area, little office, parts room, and then a big shop for all of our never-ending projects. So it's working out great for us. We just had our grand opening for our speed shop, which is Nasty Speed and Performance, on Saturday. So we had a little car show, practice tree shootout, huge turnout success, and I'm excited about it. It's rocking and rolling.
That's awesome, man. It looks good. Hey guys, if
Thank you.
if you have any questions for John throughout the show, just comment, subscribe, share this on your walls, share it as much as possible so we can get more people on here and start talking more shit. So, but I guess let's start from the beginning. How did you get involved in racing or drag racing in general? Like, did you come from a family of drag racers, like how most of us came from, or
Yep.
was okay? So
Um, well, I wouldn't say from a family of drag race. My dad has a couple good stories. Back in the day, he had a 65 GTO that he would street race with and get in some trouble with. But my dad's always had some cool cars growing up. I was definitely into cars, into motorcycles, dirt bikes, nitro RC cars, like your typical kid. And when I got old enough, I started working at my neighbor owned a Chevy dealership. So I was washing cars. I was the king of the water buffalo. They had this big ass van with the world's loudest pressure washer in a big water tank, and I would be washing cars from sun up to sundown.
Oh, wow.
And fell in love with the Camaros. Ended up getting a 5th-gen Camaro, and before it left the dealership, like I didn't work on cars a bit, but it had headers, exhaust, and a cold air intake, and I was hooked from there. I was burning like a tank of fuel every like Friday, Saturday night, trying to race on the highway, and you couldn't get me out of the car.
Nice.
So I
Yeah.
guess that was like my start into the motorsport stuff. I was a PGA golf pro for a while. I had some good money making opportunities caddying, and I took that car to RPM Motorsports, and I didn't know a thing. I said I want a TH400, I want an 88 millimeter turbo, and I want to shoot flames out the side. And
Right, because you're from up north, right? Originally.
yeah, originally from Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
Wilkes-Barre Scranton area, and then I
Yep.
came down to North Carolina, where I'm at now for school. Played some golf and got my PGA certifications and all that. Traveled a little bit with some work opportunities, and they built my car, and I just kept burning my money ever since. It seems like
And what kind of car was it again?
5th-gen Camaro, white and orange. They call it the Cow Marrow. It's like the car that I got my start with, white and orange 5th-gen.
This one?
That's it. Yep.
So
Yep.
that's the one you started with?
Yeah, it was on the cover of RPM magazine. At the time, it was badass. It was kind of ahead of its time. Like it was like 8 or 9 years ago, and it was going like 520s, and it was my only car, like daily driver. That's all I had. Yep. The first race I ever entered, we ended up winning with some quarter mile stuff. I went like an 890 first time out with it.
Oh, wow.
And then
How
like
old were you in that picture?
I was a junior in college. And I remember I drove it an hour and a half to the race, blew up the torque converter, and that was my only means of transportation. So I drove it home with the messed up converter, and then had my buddy help me get it to the shop the next day. So I don't know, was I probably maybe like 19, 20, 21, somewhere in that range.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm originally from Allentown. So
Oh yeah.
that's how, I obviously I know RPM and Fran and things like that, but I'm originally from up north. So I think I heard one time that you used to I don't know if you raced at Beaver Springs once or twice
Mhm.
or something like that, or yeah, so but I used to race there too. But so how did LS Nasty come to be, or Nasty Racing? Which one came first? Uh,
Yeah.
how did that all come about?
So it's kind of like one of those like funny stories how it starts in the garage, and everyone like, oh, Apple started in a garage, and Amazon started in a garage. Well, I was working at a speed shop, and this guy came in. His name was Chris, who's now my business partner in many different business ventures.
Mhm.
And I met him for the first time, and I remember seeing in the back of his truck he had just like a tire, just a tire sitting in his truck. And I got home from work on one Friday, and I started scrolling through Facebook, and I found an LS3 for $400, and I didn't have a tire to set the motor in the back of my truck. So I call this guy. I say, "Hey, can I borrow your tire?" And he shows up. Mind you, I've just seen him while I was at work. Didn't really like know him or anything. And he says, "Yeah, send me your address." So he drives to my house and throws the tire in the bed of the truck and hops in the passenger seat. He's like, "Yeah, I'll ride with you to go get this motor." So we drive about an hour and a half away. And while we're driving out there, he's like, "Man, I'm really itching to get a car. We should get a car and build a car together." And he at the time he was building through the shop. He was building like a twin turbo Corvette, and he goes online and on Facebook Marketplace and finds this turbo Trans Am, and we go and we pick it up, we bring it back to the house, and then the next day we just thrash on it in the garage, putting like updating the turbo kit, putting an
Mhm.
intercooler and all this stuff on there. And he steps back and he goes, "Man, this thing's nasty." I said, "No, it's LS Nasty." And right there, it stuck. And everything we did, myself, Chris, my roommate at the time, Wes, and my buddy Ben, that was the start of LS Nasty. So that car became the what was known as my channel, like the Boosted Rooster. It was like a stock. It had a stock 5.3 in it. We ended up going like 890s with it, and just made some
Was it
like
this
real.
thing? This one?
That's it right there. That was like the first time we took it to the track once we put a new turbo kit. I got my first sponsor, John from Huron Speed sponsored his turbo kit. So we put
Okay.
his turbo kit on there and made some awesome YouTube videos, kind of like kickstarted my YouTube. Between that and the Calamaro, we were just putting out some crazy content. So it evolved from LS Nasty for a while to LS Nasty Racing to now we have a lot of other cars other than LS's to Nasty Racing. And I think it'll probably stay at Nasty Racing for now.
Nice, nice. So you mentioned Chris, and anytime like I watch your videos or whatever, it's always like the same guys or whatever. So, do your buddies like? Is it like a full partnership amongst all your friends, or like is it more or less like you and Chris are at the top and everybody else helps out? Like, how's that dynamic work?
Yeah, so Chris and I, we have a couple different business ventures together. One, the main one really is the storm work. So Chris has some big contracts that he does like more of the administrative side and runs the company, and I supply the manpower. So I'm boots on the ground, and he's kind of big picture and the administrative side. So all the guys that you see in my videos, they all work for us in the storm business in some sort of capacity. So the storm stuff is our full-time gig. The racing kind of takes a back seat to it. So being that it's nature related, like we're waiting for hurricanes, windstorms, snowstorms, we don't really know when we're going to work. We usually work between like 15 to 20 weeks out of the year. So we're in the shop a lot waiting for the call. This is our other thing that we do for fun. A couple guys rent a couple bays and they run some little side businesses out of here, but everyone that you see in the videos is we're all working together and we all kind of have the same mindset, and I try to implement it a lot. Is we can all succeed together, we can all go to the top together. No one wants to be successful without their friends there. So I want to be successful. I want my friends to be successful with me. And it started off as, some of them kind of working for me. Now, almost all of them have their own business that, subcontracts through me. And it's really been, expanding out of my company, John Dock Recovery. We about double in size every year for the past 4 years. We operate with like 1 or 2% turnover. So very successful in what we do. Amazing opportunity, and the guys are taking advantage of it. So it's been really great. I'm very lucky.
Nice, nice. So on that stormwork stuff, I always see you're looking for guys. Are you still looking for guys? Like, how do if like someone like me wanted to get into stormwork, like what do I have to do?
Yeah, so we're always looking for guys. We have the national contract. I can't speak too much of it because some of the stuff kind of got to stay private. But we essentially do power restoration for telecommunications. So when cell towers lose power, we bring portable power to them via generators. We fuel them, and then when power comes back on, commercial power, we retrieve them. And we work all over the country. My main market's kind of on the East Coast, but we got guys working out in California and all over the place. So if you guys are interested, like it requires a 3/4 ton truck and a pintle hitch. And like I have a bunch of transfer tanks. I provide them with transfer tanks for doing refuels. And they just send me an email at john@johndocrecovery@gmail.com. And whenever, based off the location, we get you to work. It's an amazing opportunity, pays really good. We pay travel time to and from the event. All fuels reimbursed. We put you in a hotel. So a lot of guys use it as a race car fund. So I'm all about that. Most of the guys that work for me, motorsports related, watch my YouTube channel. So we have a really good group of guys. They're all friendly, help one another out, all like-minded. And we've been killing it.
I might have to get with you on that. I have an F450, so.
Oh yeah, it's the perfect side gig.
Yeah.
Like you go out there, you work a week, make a couple $1,000s, come back, boom, new turbo, just like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I have the time, so which is good. So at your facility, I know before maybe you didn't really work on customer cars, but maybe you do now. I'm not sure. Like, what's the dynamic at the new shop?
Yeah, so I'll work on. I would say like I have to know you to work on your car. I don't really take on any work from like the general public. I probably work on like 2 or 3 cars a year for like other people. I help my buddies build some cars. I do most of like the turbo kit. I do all the turbo kit fabrication here. So I know for 3 of my buddies, I've built turbo kits for their cars, like the guys that work for me. But for the most part, I don't really try to get in on working on like customer cars just so I can focus on the cars we have. I got 2 guys here that they do take on work. One Mason, he does, a bunch of hot rod stuff, street car stuff. We just did a cam in my girlfriend's Camaro. We knocked that out in a day. So like the late model GM performance stuff we're pretty good with. And then they'll do some like lift kits on trucks, wheels and tires, a little bit of diesel work. So we have the ability to, but we try not to get too tied down or locked into that, because Thursday we want to go to the racetrack. Friday we're going racing. Saturday we're going racing.
Right.
You kind of get married to some of that stuff, but we do a little bit. They kind of handle that and do that on their own. But myself, I try not to. I always kind of catch myself doing one or two, but for the most part, really just myself and Chris's cars.
Awesome. So is it mainly a focus on like part sales and things like that?
Yeah, so the speed shop we just opened up, we're trying to bring like a new twist to like the old school speed shop. So we have brick and mortar storefront, bunch of parts. We got some carburetor rebuild kits on the walls, which like I don't know what the hell that is, but we got them if you need them. We got like a bunch of VP fuels, Schaefer's oil, Mickey Thompson tires, full spectrum power batteries. We keep a bunch of stuff in stock. Scarlett Solution sensors. We just got a bunch of stuff. But what I'm doing that's different is we're doing a membership program. So $69 a month, and you get membership pricing. So there's, for people that don't know the automotive side of things, like most part sales, they have like mapped pricing, minimum advertised pricing, stuff like that. There's no way of getting around that. You can't post stuff up online for cheaper than the mapped pricing. If you type in, hey, I want a set of headers for my 5th gen Camaro, there'll be 50 places that pop up all the exact same price. With our membership program, you go through me to get the price. So nothing's advertised. You pay $69 a month. You get member pricing, which will smoke anyone's pricing anywhere else. Force induction turbos, we carry them. I probably got 6 turbos sitting in stock. Like, you pay $69 a month. If you're a member, you want a turbo, I think you end up saving like $400 on the turbo. So it pays for itself. Fuel, every 5-gallon pail is like essentially $30 off. So if you're racing, if you are buying parts, if you're building a car, it's a great opportunity to save some money. And we got really awesome access to a bunch of parts and knowledge as well.
Awesome. You hear that, guys? So $69, you can save 400.
Yeah,
so
just like
that's a no-brainer.
The most badass batteries on earth, full spectrum power batteries. I got them behind me. Retail price $1,550, member price $1,425. So like right there, you first month, boom, you got it.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. So how do people sign up for the membership on your website?
So we just launched this Saturday. So I just got my first couple members signed up. Also, we do like monthly giveaways on it as well, and then we'll have like product highlights. So like we might be selling something like at cost, like direct cost. Most of the stuff that we sell is like damn near at it. But the best way to contact me right now is lsnastyllc@gmail.com. Just because we are about to launch the website where you'll be able to do everything right online. We're trying to make it as streamlined as possible. So if it's something where like, and you don't have to be local to us here in North Carolina, like we drop ship, we get stuff to you no matter what. But if it's somewhere you are building a car, you are buying parts, I don't want to spend any more money than I have to. I feel like a lot of people at home don't need to either.
That's awesome. So you have a lot of stuff going on. You have the shop.
Yep.
You have racing. You have storm work. The YouTube channel. What's a typical day look like for you? Like how does a typical day, run in your world?
It's crazy because no 2 days are alike. Like,
yeah,
I wake up every day fired up because I know I have a lot of stuff to get done, but no idea where the day is going to go. Yesterday, I woke up at 4. We drove down to a chassis shop in Savannah, in Savannah, picked up a car, dropped one off, came back. Today, I was at my desk doing admin work and billing and invoicing. So a normal day for me is I get to the shop at 7 a.m. I edit my video that I filmed the day before, and I get that out by like 9:30-ish, maybe 10 o'clock, depending on who's distracting me. Might DoorDash something. And then we go in the back of the shop and we figure out what we're working on, whether we're maintenance in a race car, getting ready for a race, working on one of the builds, working on the storm trucks. I'm building a Peterbilt right now, so we might be working on that. We do that till about lunch, and then after lunch, we go for an hour lunch. Always got to have your lunch, sit down, chill for a second, and then we come back here. We're either getting ready to go to the racetrack or we are getting elbow deep in like building motors. We have a whole engine assembly room. Mountain tires, wheels, tires on trucks, like something every day.
That's crazy. You and Cletus are the two guys that I follow like on YouTube and stuff, where I can't I don't know which cars you guys have currently and don't have, because you guys are always like, buying stuff, selling stuff, and I know why you guys do it that way because you're always trying to keep, things fresh and exciting and things like that. So, um, like, what cars are you building right now, and like, what's in your stable right now?
So the newest one is right behind me here. That is the OG, the old El Diablo car. We just picked that up. So this is kind of like going to be my baby for the next few months, you could say. We're gonna go and reset the hydraulic roll record in the LS with this chassis, and then we're going to take that motor out and put a billet LS motor in there and set the overall LS record, go faster than David Atkins at a 375, which has been there for a while. So I feel like this is the car to do it. We were once LS nasty. We still have the LS stuff running through our veins, so we got to be on top. So no expense spared. The car is badass. We're gonna be doing that. So this car is called Beetlejuice. We always have to rename it with something. So a Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show. We've tried to fly him out a number of times. Chris and I just think he's a funny dude. So this is like an homage to him.
I love that meme where they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing. Nothing.
we bought a bunch of merchandise from him. We've tried to fly him out. We could never just get it aligned. He's up in Maryland. So when we go up there, we're going to try to get him to the racetrack with us.
Oh, that'd be sick.
So
whereabouts in Maryland?
I could. He's 4 hours away from MIR, or sorry, 45 minutes away from MIR. So he's not far.
Okay. All right.
So we're gonna try to get him out there, and
nice.
We'll have him hold the wheel for a pass. We'll just put a tune up in it and let him go. But yeah, so Beetlejuice, that is like fresh, hot off the press. We unveiled the car Saturday. We got 481X twin turbo, third gen Camaro, which is Slick Rick. That's kind of been our shootout car. The shootout stuff in the Carolinas is insane. If you're not going 370s, you're in the way. So you got to have your shit together.
Yep.
The Black Sheep is just about done. It's getting a header fixed. I messed a header up already before I even raced it. What do you know? Put a Hemming screw in that, and very, very close to getting that done. We got a brand new car to us, which is called Prison Mike, like from The Office, Michael Scott.
Right.
So we're going to run PDRA Super Street with that. And then Chris's personal car, the Bad Apple, that's at Devin Vanderhoof's shop getting wired up. Small block Ford single turbo. That one is kind of like V2. The first one got wrecked, so spent some time, rebuilt it. Badass turbo kit, titanium exhaust, all the goodies on it. Super lightweight car. It's badass. And then I got one last car, which was my ride along car. I got to look at the pictures on the wall to remember. It's called Hank from like Hank Hill and the King of the Hill. That's down at the chassis shop now. B&B Chassis and Fab out of Aiken, South Carolina. Absolutely killing it. It's just getting the floor tin work put in there right now. It went there with no cage in it, really. We went like 490s with a 6-point cage with a passenger. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of unsafe. Bolt-in cage, like shouldn't do that. So we update the cage. Gibbons Race Cars put 25.5 kind of shell in it. And then I was like, no, we need to really, take it all the way, and a badass 4-link racecraft front end. And that one's going to be kind of like a project I've tried to do for the past, I don't know how many years, of just start to finish, show a race car on the internet, what it takes to build.
Nice. So the Black Sheep, is that going to be like a, shootout car or class car or?
Class legal for LDR. LDR's tough though. You got to run your stuff tongue out. We do a Thursday night shootout here at Galot. Our shop's 4 miles away from Galot Motorsports Park, so right down the road.
That's convenient.
It's factory firewall, factory frame rail, factory floor class. That sucker meets the rules. So kind of class killer, but it fits the rules. So I plan on running that a lot Thursday night. I'm sure as you will be well aware here shortly, the maintenance on the Hemi is a lot. So I don't want to run it too much, but just enough to kind of get the fix.
Right. Yeah. That's the plan that we're going to do. We're going to run it semi-hard, but not too hard unless we really, really have to, and try to save parts and connecting rods and all that fun stuff. But the Hemi stuff is a totally different animal. That's for sure.
We're Hemi brothers now, like Cletus says, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I might have to go back to the LS stuff and try to take the hydraulic LS roller record from you again.
Oh, listen, good luck because I'm gonna set the bar high this time. I thought I did all right last time. I definitely had more left in it. I took what people don't know is after we set the hydraulic roller record, we were running LDR going like 412s with the hydraulic setup in there, and we just switched over to solid lifters trying to pick up some, didn't pick up any. So I had the solid lifters in there, and then I ended up selling the motor. There was more left in it. 100%. Like the car was heavy. It still had a 98 millimeter turbo on there. We would
How
just run
much
it
did it weigh? How much did it weigh with you in it?
2725. Well,
Yeah.
2780 really when I set the record. Then I took a little bit of weight out of it, but compared to some other cars, it's quite heavy.
Yeah, you're a little bit heavier than me. I was at 2600 with
Yeah.
race weight. So we beat that time. What we couldn't say what it was, and kept we kept it hush hush and things
Are
like
you
that because we
flexing
didn't
on
want
me
to.
right now?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
well,
damn.
I am.
Damn.
So we kept it hush hush because it was a no time car and we didn't want to like piss anybody off or whatever.
Mhm.
So we were just like whatever, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but not by much though. So um so do you currently still hold any records right now or
Um, I don't think so. My first record I ever had, I had the fastest stock cubic inch Camaro in the world at one point. And that was God knows how many years ago. That's what got me the fix on the micro records. I went like a 930, or I went a 890 with it, and everyone was shitting their pants. Then I blew the motor up shortly after. But no, I'm sitting second next to Kenny Dangler with the hydraulic roller, and I guess it would be next to you unless you release time. So if I knew that you went faster, I'd just put the bigger turbo on it. But no, nothing. I got nothing on my chest right now. I'm just minding my own business, cowering in the corner, waiting until I can get back on top talking shit.
Nice. So obviously, you do what you do. You have a big following and stuff. So I can only assume you get a ton of haters,
Mhm.
right? So what's the biggest thing like regular people don't understand about what you do?
Um, I think one, like the finances of it, like I've sacrificed a lot. I
Yeah.
spend all my money on this. Like I don't have a house. Um, I have a bunch of cars to like to show for it, but a lot of time, money, effort, you sacrifice. Live a normal life when you do it to this level. When I've been dating my girlfriend for a few years now, and when I was like going crazy, just getting all this stuff started, I would see her 2 or 3 times a month. Which I would not say that's normal really, but
Right.
that's what I mean, you were at the shop from 7 a.m. until 2 a.m. every night, and then you would leave and go racing. So in order to get to a point like where we are now, a lot of sacrifice. And then, there's some things you have to do strategically where it's not the popular opinion. Like I had a truck at the chassis shop and we ended up getting this car, made the decision to sell the truck because this car is much closer to being finished, a lot less work. A lot of people were mad. So, man, why are you selling that? And that's just the decision that had to be made.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and yeah, all the people that make mean comments, they suck. Like, I really don't read them anymore. They just like come across and I look at it. I'm like numb to it. Like they're like, hey, you're an idiot. You can't finish anything. And I'm looking at it and I just like scroll to the next one.
Right.
So, I mean, unless you're in that position, if the guys that have cars that are working on them, they're not comments. It's the people that have no idea what it takes to even build a car. To get a car to go down track, it takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of smart people, and you better have your boys having your back. And
Yeah.
that's what it takes to get every single car down track. And no one, I got gapped by Swanstrom last week and everyone's dragging me in the comments, and it was my fault. Like I had some bad data from when I was testing. I had cracks in the headers. All my data was off and I pulled some power out of it. I pulled too much out of it and I got run over, and everyone's like, you suck. And I'm like, hey, swing and a miss, swing
Yeah,
and a miss.
it's this is the only sport where I say like you lose way more than you win,
Mhm.
and we just come back and do it over again and over again, and we just get our teeth kicked in, and we keep coming back for more. It's like going into an MMA fight and you're going up against Conor McGregor, right? You have like almost no chance of winning, but you're going to go do it anyway. And you lost to him like 10 times in a row, but you're still going to keep going. You know what I mean? So that's what drag racing is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but same thing. You know what I mean? People that are close to me that are not drag racers, they ask me all the time, like, why do you put so much time and effort into this? It looks frustrating. You're stressed out all the time, and I'm like, this is what you got to do to be successful. You know what I mean? You got to get through the shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just, make it through. And because eventually, the hard work will pay off, you know what I mean? So,
There's a
but
lot of times I'm like, man, I'm done with this. Like
yeah.
I'm close done. I'm getting burnt out. I'm tired. I'm over it. Like I,
And
I
then
went
you
a-
win.
I went probably like 6 months straight of just knocking the tires off. And it was brutal. And a lot of people, they don't post the struggles, they don't
Right.
post their failed attempts. Well, I keep it real. I have been posting every single day, not the past couple days, but I posted every single day. So when we went to the track, if I went up there and I knocked tires off 6 times, that's what you get. And they're just like, dude, you don't know what you're doing, this and that. And I'm like, man, I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I would go, and we would go the next week and we would test and we would try. And then the next week we would test and we would try. The hard work does pay off, but it is a lot. And definitely there's a couple times where, you got to keep your head up and just grit your teeth and just keep on going.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you do all your own tuning now, or do you have somebody else tune the cars for you? Like, how does that dynamic work?
So we got a lot of cars right now. We're working with Scotty Ray. He's doing all the tuning on. Well, all of our cars are on Holly. We try to set them up all very similar.
Hmm.
Obviously, the combinations change, but the same kind of roots. So Scotty Ray's doing all the tuning. He helps with the chassis stuff. I got Scott Sublet, PIG Motorsports. He does all of our really our engine program stuff. We build all our engines in house. TCAM Performance does all our machine work, and Kevin and those guys. So I'm super lucky. I have like this whole circle of just like super smart, intelligent guys that we build the car. It gets a great tune up on the hub dyno from Kevin. Devin Vanderhoof wires most of our cars, so startup tune spot on. We go to the track. Scotty Ray's dialing in the tune up. Scott, is going over the motor. So like I think running a race program opposed to just running one car is having the right people in the right places. So I'm super fortunate. But to answer your question, yes, Scotty Ray, S Ray Tuning, he's doing the tuning on the car right now, and great guy, awesome dude, super knowledgeable. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with, and we really enjoy racing with him.
Awesome. So one of my favorite cars slash videos you ever done was this one. So what was that beast like?
So, like old, outdated Pro Mod that came with a damn Roots blower on it, which probably should have stayed on there. We put a Whipple screw on it.
Was that just like an impulse buy, like, oh, like that's a cheap price, let me buy that, or
It was smoking deal. Like for what
yeah,
we do, especially like just making content, like you buy it, have a little bit, get rid of it, break
yeah,
even, making cool videos, say you had a Pro Mod. What's crazy is I ended up selling the Whipple that's on the Black Sheep now, we ended up essentially getting for free from the like buying and then parting out type deal. But yeah, that was it was just I never had a car with a Linko in it. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Drove it through the drive-through, external starter. My boy CJ's damn forearm was about to bust every time he was trying to rip him in half. But no, it was just an old Pro Mod that
Yeah.
we bought. We did some like no prep stuff with it, popped the burst panels out of it a few times, took through the drive-through, pissed the neighbors off, just what you'd expect.
What was it like driving it at the track? Was it like wild, or was it pretty decent, decent to drive, or
Yeah, I mean, I never drove on any big tire stuff before, so it was pretty wild. I mean, it was violent as hell.
yeah,
Um, the first pass we made, like when we got it, the car didn't run in like 10 years, so we got it to run. We put the other blower on there, but like let go of the button, just like can't see shit. Your eyes are just like shaking in your head. It's tire shaking. I'm trying to drive it. It shakes the damn lean out. Burst panel goes off. Like it's absolute chaos. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely fun, but it was just like insane. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. I got done. I got to the big end. I'm like, what the hell was that?
yeah, yeah. I had a big tire car like an X Pro mod car as well, and it was mechanical injected, type of
Mhm.
deal. So I'm like, I have, and that was my first time like learning about that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I have to pull this lean out valve to shut it off. Like this is dumb. Like you know what I mean? Like like I have to remember all this stupid stuff, and you know what I mean? Like it's like cars nowadays are so much easier and simpler.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah. That's like caveman shit though. It's just badass. Like
yeah,
I felt
yeah.
like I could have got out the car on the big end. I could have whooped anyone's ass.
I had that car for I think like I got it done. We worked on it for like 8 months, right? Got it done. Had it for like 3 months and sold it. I was like, I'm done with this. Like so
Yeah.
what do you do when you're not racing or messing around with cars? Like do you do anything for fun? Like do you still like uh you know, you said you were used to be into the PGA stuff, like, do you still do that?
Yeah, I golf once a year, so I do that annually. I'm not really I look at it as if, like, I'm gonna take, like, 4 to 6 hours of my day. I could probably do something a little bit more productive. Um, my girlfriend likes to travel, so, like, I'm a big Airbnb guy. I just can't get over that I get to go and stay in someone's house for the weekend because 'cause I'm like, "I would never do that," but I
You're
think
right.
that's cool. So, we go to, like, some cool places. I'm trying so hard right now not to buy a boat. I'd really love to Mike Gunter had this, like, badass fountain boat, and I've just been, like, a fanboy over that. So,
That's a
um
whole new level of you know, expense.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get at that level. So that's but I mean, really I just hang out with my buddies. We're building a Peterbilt right now to be like our race hauler and use it for storm stuff as well. So that's kind of like my zen. I don't know anything about the truck stuff, so I'm learning as I go. So it's just like I think I can appreciate it more. It's just nuts and bolts at that point.
Nice, nice. So uh if somebody wanted to grow a YouTube channel just like you,
Mhm.
um, what advice would you give them? You know, because you kind of started, when did you start doing the YouTube stuff? You started like, at least what, at least 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
So
longer.
are you familiar with, like, the Street Speed 717 and, like, a Tarmageddon ZL1? Like,
Yeah.
the early like so I started when they had, like, 30,000 subscribers, I started my YouTube channel, and I started it on the premise of no one's doing the drag race stuff. Like, I thought I was, like, a hardcore racer when I was going to, like, test and tune, going 590s. Like, I was like, "I'm racing." And I didn't know a thing about cars, didn't know how to work on them, nothing. So I started making YouTube videos of like what it's like to own 1,000 horsepower street car, stuff like that. And I always thought like, hey, I'm gonna make videos that I would like to watch. And then as I started to get more subscribers, it grew into like, hey, it's really cool that I document my life and I can watch, 5 years from now what we did, or 10 years from now, or show my kids, what we're doing. So that was kind of my thought process. I got into it super early before it got like super popular.
Right.
Now it's tough. Like my growth on YouTube has slowed down a lot compared to like its heyday. I mean, it's steady now. I used to like be obsessed with like checking my views all the time. Now I don't even look at it. YouTube used to be one of like my main sources of revenue. It just comes in every once in a while. I don't even look at it. I use it solely for what I feel like its main purpose is marketing.
Hmm.
It has some great marketing values. But people that are, dead set on saying, hey, like I want to start a YouTube channel to make money, I would recommend against that. It's
Yeah.
pretty unrealistic unless you're an outlier or you're doing some, you have some like serious backing where you can throw a lot of money at it, hope it sticks, and then hope to recoup your money. If you want to make YouTube videos, just make them because they're fun. Just
Yep.
have fun with it and record it. Like that's my advice. Like if you want to do YouTube, do it for the right reasons. If you're doing cool stuff that you want to record and show your buddies, I'm all about it. If you're in it for the money, it's pretty tough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically why I do it. Kind of the same reason you do. Kind of just record, my racing career, if you want to call it that or whatever. You know what I mean? Just sometimes I'll go back and watch stuff like, and just see like, I'm a big studier of the game. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'll watch videos and see like what, especially like if people have in car footage, like what they're doing while they're driving and this and that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I might pick up some tips. You know what I mean? on like a certain driver or whatever and make myself better. But I do it just as a marketing thing, to help the sponsors and promoters that help me, and
Yeah.
just do it for fun. If something sticks one day, and it grows, then that's great. But I'm not trying to be this big YouTube star or whatever. Um, I think it's like you said, it's super hard nowadays because it's so like saturated.
Yeah. And the good thing about YouTube is like you never know what video could take off.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like, in the back of your mind, you're making videos and it could. I fired. I don't know what I did. I might have just rebuilt the converter, the transmission, or put a new transmission in my white car. We got a gas station like a block and a half away. So I pull it out the shop and I just have my phone and I'm like, I'm gonna drive it down to the gas station, film a video. And I'm like, all right, that'll be cool. So I pull up to the gas station. I turn the camera on. I get out, and I'm like, where do I put the damn fuel? And I stick it in the burn down tube. I'm like, oh, there it is. And then I called my boys, and I'm like, hey, pull up in the smart car and just film this. I'm gonna drive back. So drive around the parking lot. I drive back. It idles at like 40 mile an hour, so just idling back. Video's got like over 2 million views. Like I put
Wow.
zero effort, zero thought into that video. I'd be making some killer videos back here with some serious knowledge and like
Right.
badass stuff.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You never know with YouTube. You just got to make it. Like just make it.
It's the dumbest shit that usually goes viral or whatever.
Yep.
My friend's son made a video clip on TikTok, and it was just him and his buddy doing this dance or whatever to a Hellcat revving, right? And the video has like 8 million views. Like
Crazy.
it's crazy, and it's like it's like a 10-second clip, so but John needs to go to Yellow Bullet Nationals. Have you ever thought about competing at Yellow Bullet? Or
So when I lived in Hershey, Pennsylvania for a while,
Uh-huh.
and I would race at Cecil all the time. I love the track. I've never like had a car that like fit the rules or they had like a badass no time class, but I'm dying to go there for Yellow Bullet.
What about the Black Sheep? Will it fit their LDR rules or no?
I think it does, yeah, with a little bit of weight put on it, it would. But I just hate going. I will go to be a class filler to say I went to a race, but like low key, I don't want to go to the race if I don't win. It's like I want to go there. I want to win.
You don't think it'll be fast enough?
Tongue out, yes. Putting rods in it, hell yeah. Putting bearings in it,
Gotcha.
do I want to do that? No.
Yeah. No, it's an awesome event. It's like it's so electric. I live 30 minutes from there, so but I've never raced at Yellow Bullet because they don't have a no time class. I've never really been a class racer. It's just just one of those things. Hopefully one day they will add it.
I feel like they need one. There's no why not to?
Yeah. I think Monty is finally. I heard rumors he's finally coming around to the idea of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if you have like a 28-275 extreme class, you're not going to get the bullshit cars that are not safe and things like that. Have a 28-275 extreme class, have an all steel all glass class, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need to have like grudge racing or anything like that. Just have a shootout. And
yeah, the no time classes definitely get looked down upon too compared to the class racing. Going from no time to LDR, like there was like a big like gap in how people act and how they treat you, which is, I mean, it is what it is. But you can't tell me. I've been on both sides. You can't tell me there's not a difference between the two.
Yeah.
Which I think is so odd because now there's a lot of badass no time cars now, like cars that would run up front in pro, cars that would run up front in LDR. And they're just no time cars.
Exactly. So like that's basically our plan. You know what I mean? Like if we do well in no time next year, we're we might make the jump to Pro 275. You know what I mean? But if obviously if the budget is there, you know what I mean? Because to run that class, you need to have money, you need to have extra parts, maybe an extra motor, things like that. So if the money's there, that's our plan. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's basically the 28-275 stuff, like that's basically Pro 275.
Yeah, 100%.
So Alan from Shaver said hello. Lewis and John from Delaware State Fair.
Oh, Alan's a good dude. I talk to Alan all the time. See him at PRI.
Yeah, he's awesome. I talk to him almost every day as well, and he's a night owl. He'll text me at like 11 o'clock, midnight, like, hey, take a look at this video clip or whatever. Some random.
So that means you're running chafers.
Yeah.
That hands down the baddest stuff out there.
Yeah. Well, you're the one who got me on the trans fluid,
Yep.
the SAT stuff.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that stuff is awesome.
Yeah, I
But
run that stuff in like all my cars, all my work trucks. I put their grease on my equipment. Like they have me sold 100%. I probably have like 10 drums of their oil in here.
I think if they put me and Alan talk about this all the time because Schaefer's, does a lot of business in like, agriculture and farming and stuff like that. But I think if they made a bigger push in racing, they could be like the number one oil in racing,
Oh,
because their stuff is legit.
100%. I
Yeah.
try to like all my buddies. I'm like, hey, try this stuff, try it, and they all end up running it. I
Yeah.
haven't had anyone literally say like, oh, I don't like the Schaefer's. Oh, it doesn't work. Like all their stuff, awesome.
Yeah, I agree. So what's your proudest accomplishment?
Um, I don't know. No one's ever asked me that. I don't know. That's a tough question. We're talking about like motorsports specific.
Yeah, motorsport specific. Would it be the 30 under 30 stuff, or I think I have
Yeah,
a picture of that.
I would say the 30 under 30 stuff was cool. It was to me it was like a big deal. I just was really getting the ball rolling. I just like started doing YouTube full time, and I mean, yeah, I'm super proud to be like on that list. I mean, I'm up there with like Vic and Swanstrom and the McCains. I mean, there's some serious names. I think at the time, a lot of people that like knew me or that were like really big into racing didn't think I was kind of like on the same level as some of those other people. So I think since then I've showed that I can hang with the big boys, and that was the right call to have me on there. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest accomplishment that I'm proud of is just I guess like the whole Nasty Racing brand in what we represent.
Yeah.
All of, like the guys that I have that work here. Uh, it's like family. It really is. So I can call any of them at like 3 a.m. Hey, come to the shop. I need a hand. They'd be here. And I don't think you really see that too much. Or like, hey, we're working late till 2 a.m. I don't think that's super common at this day and age. Like that, you see people that are just all on board, um, all in, and we have each other's back. So I think the family that Nasty Racing has, and what we strive for, that's kind of what I'm most proud of.
Um, Brandon said the FL2K win was awesome.
Yeah, I got this year. I'm coming for another one. I'm coming for
That's
another
awesome.
one this year. So, yeah, we had. It was probably now it's probably like 2 or 3 years ago. We were on a hot streak with the Black Sheep, and we won. Like we raced like 16 weekends in a row, won 13 out of the 16, and runner up another two. So
Wow.
we were pretty tough to beat. So
Wow.
looking to get back on that.
What races do you have coming up that you're going to be attending?
Um, I got to come to Bridge Wars now that you're posting up about that. That wasn't on the schedule, but we're gonna talk to the boys, and we'll probably be up there. I love running up there, so I'd like to
Awesome.
be up there. We're going to Rockingham this weekend, and then I kind of play it by ear. We're going to the PWRA race at Bristol with the Super Street Car Ducks race FL2K. I think
Mhm.
that's really it. We're getting into hurricane season now, so I
Yeah.
really need to book more races because then we'll get more storms. It seems like every time I have an event I want to go to, we get with a hurricane. So, yeah, I just kind of play it by ear. Couple weekends out, start messaging the guys, and hey, you want to go to this, and we kind of hit the road.
Well, for Bridge Wars, I don't know if you know this, but I working a little bit with Fred, and I got custom samurai swords. So the winner of 28 275 and the winner of Osteo Glass is going to get a custom samurai sword, and it's going to say, Bridge Wars 2024 28 275 winner.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So my little spin on things or whatever. He gave me the idea of one of the guys used to hand out surfboards back in the day.
Yep,
So I was like, that's pretty cool. So
that is
I'll put
awesome.
put a little spin on things since I'm a ninja at night.
Oh, we'll have to make room in the shop for it. I'm sure I could find a place for it.
So, but yeah, before we like sign off, is there anything, anyone you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out? You know,
I want to thank you for having me on this. I think what you do here is great for racing. I think more people need to like. You're a great advocate for racing. More people need to see this. You get to talk to people, and so thank you, because I know this takes time. Not a lot of people see how much time and effort goes behind the scenes. So thank you. You're doing the YouTube stuff. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
More people need to be doing it, honestly, for the right reasons, like you are. So thank you for having me on here, and for like giving us the shout out and everything like that. You get the back tire for life now. But no, I mean, there's so many people. It's tough to really like. I could be here for an hour.
Yeah.
One thing about me is I don't ever claim to be I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I think that my special skill is, figuring out who the right people are in the right places. And I'm super fortunate to be surrounded by some really smart, really amazing, really awesome people. And there's a huge list of them. So all the guys that I work with, the people I talk with, do business with, it's just I'm super thankful for that. So all the companies out there, I mean, they're awesome. Kevin at TCAM Performance, he's like my hero in drag racing. So being able to work with him, have his sticker on the side of the car that's like an honor for me. So and everyone I work with, I mean, I got those stickers on the back of my car, on the windows, and Race Tech seats. Like these companies that entrust me to promote their brand that I work with, it's an honor, and I'm just super thankful for everyone and all the opportunities they provide, and just being able to work with them. It's truly awesome.
And that's actually one more thing I wanted to touch base on, because you hit on something, because I see a lot of times the whole sponsorship game, right?
Mhm.
Most of the time you run stuff because you like it, right?
Mhm.
You just buy it, you run it, and you talk about it. You say, this stuff is awesome, this and that, right? And I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, you're not, I'm sure it's happened, but it's not like a bunch of companies are throwing free shit at you, right?
Mhm.
You're running their stuff, you're talking about it, you're giving them, free content, free publicity, and then they might say, hey, do you want to partner? Is that usually how it goes?
Yeah, I mean, I have the analytics to back it up, where if I wanted to, I can just go and email him and say like, hey, this is my target market. This is how many videos I post a week. This is my views. These guys, the people that watch my stuff, they're walking through the stage lanes. They're
Yep.
in the driver's meeting with me. I don't have a lot of like 12 and 13-year-old kids watch my videos. It's just too technical, not really with it. Some of my jokes are like a little bit more like adult level, which I got to work on because I want to be like appropriate for everyone. But if I wanted to, you can go that route. I don't really think that's really a successful route, nor am I in the position now that I'm like, hey, I need sponsors. I appreciate all the help. Like Schaefer's Oil, like I buy drums of their oil. They sent me a
Hmm.
drum. Super appreciative of that. I shout them out all the time. It's super easy to talk about the companies when you believe in them. Race
Yep.
Tech seats. I bought a Race Tech seat. I had to put in a car. I'm on video and I'm like, dude, Race Tech, this seat's badass. Let's get together. Let's do this. They email me in this like amazing. I mean, I'm in their booth at PRI every year, which is an honor. Like,
Right.
dreamed of that. So it's just that's how it's always worked. I've always purchased the stuff. I have no intent to. I'm not asking with a handout. I like the stuff. I talk about it, and I'd say 99% of the partnerships I have are from just dealing with a company, and it goes well. I love the product. It's easy to talk about then. And then they're like, hey, the next one, if they just give you free shipping, that's a huge, I mean, saving money.
Right.
Yeah, that's and I appreciate that. And to me, it's like one thing. I think a lot of people ruin sponsorship opportunities for others
Yeah.
because they hammer these companies, hey, sponsor me, hey, sponsor me, hey, sponsor me, and these companies are so turned off by it.
Right.
I actually, so we have like a 1-800 number for our speed shop here, which I put in with just Sunday. It just went hot, so I was getting a couple phone calls. So I haven't put out a video since, but I have extension 4 is for sponsorships. And you get to talk to me about that. And I'll tell you right off bat, like, bro, this is free advice. You're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, everyone has their own, different take on it. I have the analytics and the statistics that I think are, pretty serious as far as sales and marketing, because that's what it is. A sponsorship is a two-way street. It's a
Right.
partnership. They're going to give you product. They expect something in return. I don't think anyone's in the business of just giving things out for free.
Right.
So it's tough, but yeah, I mean, all of my partnerships, I'm super thankful. I buy them. Jose at Force Inductions, I talk to him all the time. I bought a couple turbos from him. I've been talking about it. He started hooking me up on a couple. I talk about him some more. Keeps hooking me up. It's one hand washes the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's one of those things you got to give before you receive type of deal.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a two-way street, and like you said, I think a lot of people ruin it for everybody else. You know what I mean? The guys that really know how to do it. If you really want to know how to do it, give me a call, hit me up. I can
Yeah, you know
consult
how to
you.
do it. You know how to do it well. What's like you got like some like corporate like I've never done any sponsorships for like money. Like I've
Yeah,
always got parts or stuff like that. But I see you got like you're posting your stuff up. I be watching, right? I'm a
yeah,
big like watch on Facebook and give you the like button, right? Because it's
right.
free. It doesn't cost anything. It's good support. But you're pretty serious about that stuff. I see you got like
I
the car all the drawing and everything. I mean that's some big stuff.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it's not about, to me, it's not really about the money. The money's great, but like I like connecting like people together. Like I love like one of my favorite things to do here like is go to like business networking meetings. So just meeting different people, talking about what they do and seeing how we can work together and make money together and stuff like that. So to me, like sponsorship is kind of like the same thing. You're like putting companies together and like introducing them to each other and seeing if like you can make this company work with this company or make this guy work with this guy. You know what I mean? I just love connecting people, and I'm just that type of person. Like I love having people over to my house,
Yeah.
and hosting and just making people feel welcomed and having a good time, and that's just my attitude about
Build
everything.
relationships. It's like
Exactly. Yeah.
they become your friends, they become your family, it's so
Exactly.
much more than just like, "Hey, give me this," that's to me, that's how I feel. I'm working on a sponsorship right now. See the gap right here? Vincent Orthodontics. My smoking hot girlfriend works at Vincent Orthodontics in Clayton, North Carolina. Gotta give a shout out, Dr. Vincent. He's
uh,
he's gonna close the gap so I can open it up on others. We already got a
oh.
slogan and everything. So, Vincent Ortho, if you got some crooked teeth, we're gonna get you straight.
That's great. How do they do that? Are they gonna
Well,
like
so Chris, my partner, he said I need to go up there and I need to pull my front two teeth out and put one big ass tooth in there. But I said he's out of pocket for that, right? Because I had braces, I had no gap, right? I was good. And if you watch the videos over the years, that son of a gun,
uh
it's
yeah,
been getting gapped. So I'm going up there in a couple weeks, and he's gonna get me some Invisalign, and I'm gonna be, right back at it. But sponsorship deal, I went up there. He watched my YouTube videos. Shout out Dr. Vincent, and we're gonna make it happen.
that's awesome, man. That's pretty cool, man. Brian said coming to PowerTube TV soon. Brian's one of my marketing partners, so we're gonna be the ratio is gonna be on PowerTube TV very soon. So
Awesome.
make sure you go on PowerTube TV, watch PowerTubeTV.com. So but yeah, man, this has been great. Thank you so much. I know how busy you are, so I don't want to, take up more of your time. But again, thank you for coming on. You're doing a great job. I can't wait till that new car behind you comes out.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited.
can't wait to line up against you.
I can't
So
wait to. I'm a gap. Put some space on you. They're gonna build a Walmart between us. Let me
uh,
tell you.
I might pull one shoot at the 60 foot, and then
Damn.
I'll pull the second shoot at the eighth mile.
I would just drive that shit right out of there and go home. I wouldn't even stop at the pit. We'll load up on the street.
But yeah, man. If you come to Bridge Wars, I'll definitely find you. We'll hang out, shoot the shit,
Awesome.
and yeah, man. Looking
Thank you
forward
for
to it.
having me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. It was a great show. See you next week.